Next, we're in Grove City, the home of Ohio's first thoroughbred racetrack. Then Jeff Darby peeks into Grove City's architectural gem. And Javier talks to the mayor to find out how the city has grown and what's in store in the future.
Support for Columbus Neighborhoods is provided by...
At American Electric Power, we've been proud sponsors of WOSU Public Media for many years and strong supporters of our headquarters city here in Columbus, both downtown and in neighborhoods like yours.
State Auto Insurance Companies, transforming to become a digital provider of auto, home, and business insurance. And for nearly 100 years, committed to the people and neighborhoods of Central Ohio. State Auto. The Columbus Foundation. Smart philanthropy for a smart city. ColumbusFoundation.org. Bailey Cavalieri. Your relationship with your law firm doesn't need to be complicated, it just needs to be right. CODA. Keeps our community moving forward. Falgren Moortime Marketing and Communications. Think wider. Ohio Health focuses on you and your family with a mission to improve the health of our communities. Women in Philanthropy at Ohio State, changing lives by giving together. And by contributions from these and other Columbus area families who support WOSU. Thank you.
We're in Grove City today, and fun fact number one, the first settler in these parts was a man named Hugh Grant. And no, he's not the Hugh Grant from 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Fun fact number two, Grove City has 25 miles of hiking and biking trails and is fast becoming a hot spot for outdoor fun. And fun fact number three, the first thoroughbred racetrack in Ohio was built here in the early 1920s. It was a time when betting on horse racing was a quaint, respectable pastime. Take a look.
Hi, Janet. Hi, Jim. How are you?
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see
Good morning. You know, I feel like it's post time when I walk in here. Why do I get that feeling?
Well, that's the image we try to create.
A lot of people remember Beulah Park as a horse racing track, but it didn't start that way, right?
That's correct. The story of Beulah Park actually begins with Adam G. Grant, who is considered to be the greatest entrepreneur in Grove City history. He's the gentleman who originally bought 80 acres west of Harrisburg Pike along what is now Grant Avenue to build an addition to Grove City, which he called the Beulah Addition, which he named after his daughter, Beulah Grant. Grant decided that the best way to entice people to buy a lot in the Beulah Addition was to build a recreational park at the west end of the addition. And of course, he called it Beulah Park. And it was the place that people would go for picnics and to hear speeches and baseball games, and it really attracted people to come to Grove City.
And horse racing was one of the things they did here on this
Yes.
track that kept getting bigger and bigger over the decades.
That's correct. Originally, they bought a little more land and built a half-mile racetrack on the grounds. Then in later years, they added more to the track and made it a mile oval. And that's when things really started to happen for Beulah Park.
Now, the date 1923 seems to be important in the development of the horse racing. What happens then?
That's correct. In 1922, the Central Ohio Racing Association purchased Beulah Park. And the next year, in 1923, they opened up Beulah Park as the first thoroughbred track in Ohio.
Could you legally wager on the races at that time?
Well, the parimutuel betting didn't really happen until the 1930s.
Well, horse racing is the sport of kings, the sport of queens is dog racing, and some of that happens here too, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. The greyhounds raced in Grove City for quite a few years, back in the 20s, very early 30s. And there were 2 different clubs that actually had the dogs here.
There's a picture behind you that I'm interested in. It shows the kind of crowds that gathered here. I think that's from the 1940s, but even as early as the 1920s, we might have seen crowds like that. Is that right?
Yes.
Wow, this is huge. What was the population of Grove City, like 1930 or so? Do you know?
It would be about 2,000 people.
And yet, for a race, there'd be 10,000 people there,
Exactly.
maybe.
More on holidays, they say.
This ad up here is notable. This is from the newspaper, is that right?
That's correct. That ad is from 1923, which is the year that Beulah Park opened. And it does mention the interurban, which gives me a chance to say that A.G. Grant invested heavily in the interurban and brought it to Grove City.
This would be like a streetcar.
A streetcar or a traction line.
That ran from here to Columbus?
Yes, it went to Mound Street, but it ran straight down Harrisburg Pike to Grove City and on out to Orient.
Bringing hundreds of people here for race day.
Absolutely.
We've got a really interesting item here, this saddle. A lot of people haven't seen a saddle that a jockey would be on during a race.
Yes, this is a jockey saddle that was used in the 1950s and 1960s. And you can see it looks like an English saddle, but it is actually much smaller. Jockeys are very small in stature, and they can only weigh so many pounds when they're on the horse. And if they don't weigh enough, then weights were put in their pockets so that the weight would be correct. They were very, very strict about that.
I do want to point out one detail, and I love these racing silks. And I'm awful fond of the bow tie they put on them often. So that was a trademark of the jockeys, right?
That's correct. Each owner had their own color and also a design on their silk.
Were there local horses competing here, or was it from people beyond?
Oh, we had a lot of people here in the Grove City area who had thoroughbreds, including my grandparents. And then they would be able to attract horses from Florida, New York.
What kind of jobs would have been created at a facility like this?
Well, it was a major source of jobs for the people here in Grove City and Jackson Township. There were cooks in the clubhouse, there were valets that would bring the horses out, the exercise boys, the jockeys, of course, the people who worked in the mutuals. And then around Grove City, we had lots of farmers who would sell hay and straw and also a feed, and they would buy it at the Old Grove City Farmers Exchange almost across the street from here.
Coming to the 16th pole, Naughty Mike by a head, Saberman on the inside second. Deep stretch, Naughty Mike in front.
What happened? Why did Beulah Park go into decline?
Well, I think horse racing in general started to decline, I would say, by the 1990s. And I believe that's because there were so many other things going on in central Ohio. And eventually they just became uninterested in the thoroughbreds.
Yeah, and it wasn't a decline that was just local. I mean, this was the whole horse racing industry, that there's less interest in it than there used to be.
Yes, I believe that.
Just trying his second. Deep stretch. That's the way it was. In front.
Kind of a curious bookend that the past or the origin of Beulah Park as a residential development might also be its future now, right?
That's correct. There are plans in development for the 213 acres that make up the old Beulah Park grounds to be single-family homes, apartments, some businesses, and also a park.
You know, it's probably obvious that I don't know a lot about horse racing, but this is a fascinating collection. I could spend hours here going through this stuff, and I think anybody would enjoy spending time here and seeing these photographs and all these items. Janet, Jim, thanks so much for your time and showing us Beulah Park's history today.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, we appreciate it very much and look forward to maybe a return visit.
Next, Grove City's Grant Sawyer House. Then a chat with the mayor about good eats and good trails. We're at Century Village here in Grove City. It's a turn-of-the-century historic park for the whole family. The village is open in the late fall for the Old Time Harvest Festival and in the spring for Heritage Days. We sent Jeff Darby to another historic home here in Grove City, the Grant Sawyer House. It's one of the first homes in the city that still stands today.
at Grove City today. It's a suburban community southwest of Columbus, but for a long time it was just a small Franklin County village. We're going to visit the Grant Sawyer homestead. And Nancy, you actually worked on this building with the architectural team. Tell us a little about it.
I did. The building is publicly owned, and what's fascinating is Grove City is making a major public investment in its heritage and its historic buildings and their preservation. And our job in the beginning was to do research, to learn a little bit more about the building, and to work with the design team to try to determine what the building would have looked like at the time it was built. And I'm anxious to see it because I saw it only in its before state, and today we're actually going to be able to see it and tour it and see the investment that was made and how it's being interpreted historically.
Welcome, Nancy, Jeff. So good to see both of you.
It's good to see you. The place looks fantastic.
Wonderful. Well, come in and take a look at the Grant Sawyer home.
Love to. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is the oldest
beautiful.
house in our area. It was built in 1830. It was built by the Grant family, who were cousins of Ulysses S. Grant. The most famous one is Adam Gabriel, but he's not the first. The first member of the Grant family was Hugh Grant. He lived in Pittsburgh. He was from Connecticut originally, his family was, but he lived in Pittsburgh. And he had heard about what was going on in the Ohio country, and he bought a part of a land grant. This is the Virginia Military Land Grant area.
Oh, right.
And in the spring of 1806 came up the Scioto River to find the land grant, and they built a temporary a little shed-like house to live in for, they thought, a few days. As he was out in the countryside, he saw a hive of bees, and he went up in the tree to retrieve the hive and lost his footing and fell to his death.
Oh dear.
That left his wife, Catherine Barr Grant.
Which was not an easy thing at that time.
No. She was now stranded in a country that was very wild on the banks of the Scioto River. Had no idea of where their farm was going to be, had 5 children, teenage and younger, and she was pregnant for the 6th. If we knew what she looked like, we could do a statue out front because she'd be most deserving, because she managed to find this land, clear the property, okay, 170 acres, build a log house that stood in the far back corner of the property up until relatively modern times. And the Grants were very successful financially. They ended up owning approximately 1,000 acres and sold it for when Grove City was established in 1852. The house is restored to the 1840 to 1880 period of time, and all of the furniture in the house is one of 3 things. It is either family pieces, which is about 25% of the things, Grove City pieces, using that as a very broad Grove City area pieces, and then the remainder of the furniture are things that we call Darby Valley pieces. They came from the counties on the west side of central Ohio, Pickaway, Madison, Union.
I think that's important, people coming in a historic house like this, to be able to actually visualize how a family might have lived in it.
Might have lived, and this would have been a room for special occasions,
Yes.
birthdays and Christmases and events like that.
That looks like maybe a dining room on the other side of the hall.
It is, and it's a very special dining room, so why don't we
May
go
we take
and
a
check?
look?
Oh, by all means.
Let's go see.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, this is nice.
What an elegant setup.
It really is.
We think so too. This room probably would have been actually used more frequently than the parlor, because dinner was a major way of entertaining in this time period. One of the things we're particularly proud of in this house is the fact that these chairs, the upholstery is a little worn. It was, you can see velvet, okay, but this is the original upholstery that was put on in 1835. It's mohair velvet.
Beautiful. Well, you can't have a dining room without a place to make food.
That's right, and we have a state-of-the-art kitchen, so why don't we go in and check that out?
Take a look at that too.
This is our kitchen, And I'd like to introduce you to Bev, who is one of our docents here at the Grant Sawyer House.
Nice to meet you.
And she will fill you in on what this room was used for.
Well, this is not your kitchen that you would see these days, but it is a state-of-the-art kitchen for the time, and it is the heart of the home. You'll notice that it's set up for work because this is where everything took place. No countertops, everything would have happened here at the kitchen table. This house, though, had a stove, so not so much cooking over the fire.
That would have been a very luxurious thing to have, don't you think, at this time?
It would have been, but if you notice the fireplace, it's not very deep.
Yeah, it's very
so
shallow.
there's nowhere to have had the hook and arm, nothing like that.
So kitchens historically were just a collection of furniture, really, with different purposes for storage or workspace. Or...
The pie safe there, storage of the kitchen dishes, the everyday dishes on the top, the drawer, which probably would have been used for whatever utensils you had, and then the jelly cupboard over here, where you would have stored your canned goods and that sort of thing. Of course, the wood box you need if you're going to keep your stove going all day and or your fire for warmth.
It was a lot of work.
It was an all-day job.
So in many ways, this really was sort of the center of family life. The dining room, the parlor, that was sort of family and friends life.
That was an entertaining place, but this is...
This is the workplace.
Wonderful.
Well, great. So there's more to see, I think, upstairs.
Absolutely. This is the master bedroom and the only room with the fireplace upstairs here that you're standing in front of. So that would have provided the heat
for the entire second floor.
This entire second floor, yes. And you'll see that it's also kind of a multi-purpose room. The lady of the house may have chosen to have tea up here, or she could choose to do some sewing. You'll see the sewing table there. And of course, the youngest child would sleep there.
It's quite a quilt, too.
The quilt is rather unusual. It's a trapunto, and it has the raised stuffed parts to it. This really did belong to Ruth, and that is why it is displayed here. It was one of hers.
So it's a real family piece.
And I like to point out the floors up here because they are original, and you'll notice that they're quite different from downstairs. These are the wide planks, and for their age, look wonderful.
They do look wonderful.
Well, you've done a great job interpreting life
really
at the time, but we really have to credit Grove City, too, for saving the building, for doing a wonderful restoration.
It's quite the partnership.
Thanks so much. We really appreciate it coming.
It's our pleasure to have you.
It was good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And have the tour. And
Thanks so much for coming.
We loved it.
Good luck in the future.
Nice to have you with us.
You may know that Grove City is home to many distribution centers in Central Ohio. And while those are a boon to the economy, city leaders want to expand the city's identity. Javier sat down with the mayor of Grove City to find out what the future holds.
If you're visiting Grove City and looking for a bite to eat with locally crafted beer, the Grove City Brewing Company is a great place to start. Not only will you find a wide selection of beer on its menu, but also wine from its sister company, Plum Run Winery, located right next door. And if you're hungry, there are a variety of savory items on the menu, including the Broadway Burger, made with house-made bacon jam. It's a fitting place to sit down and talk with Mayor Richard Ike Stage about Grove City, past and present.
I'm a vegetarian, and that hamburger is really talking me out of being a vegetarian. I'm reconsidering my whole life.
Well, as I say, it's good to have you in town. And we have what we call our town center, which is where you're seated, is probably one of the anchor things that are points of destination even for our own citizens.
Yeah.
We have a lot of activities down here.
Yeah, I noticed like pulling into Grove City, like it's as fast as it's growing, it still has like a really strong hometown feel to it.
We work on it all the time. And you know, one of the things that we try to do, we try to manage Grove City as a neighborhood, the whole community, not individual neighborhoods. So everything we do, we try to have a focal point And of course, the town center becomes a main focal point for activities.
What are some other things about Grove City that you're really proud of?
The fact that you recognize as you come in that you feel good about coming into town. But some of the other things is we have a Century Village down south of town, which was an evolution from some people who wanted to save a schoolhouse. Now we have a couple of cabins, blacksmith shop, an old railroad station, and some other things. So that, again, is to keep the local flavor.
The pride and spirit of Grove City has to be rooted in some really interesting history that I'm sure you know about. What are some historical little tidbits or facts that maybe the rest of us don't know that we need to know?
You know, we're an agricultural community, still are to some degree. I mean, I can remember the days across the street from here is a grain mill, and there would be tractors and dump trucks and semi-tractors lined all the way up down Broadway, bringing in the corn and the soybeans. And then they would grind it up for the horses over at Beulah Park. And then they'd literally, there'd be some that would be walking their horses on up Grand Avenue.
Now, I love the outdoors. I love getting out in nature. What's going to get me to Grove City, and how can I enjoy the outdoors when I'm here?
We have truly been blessed by the metro parks. So we got canoeing, kayaking, those kind of activities inside of Grove. We have a dog park. We have the Century Village, where we have the historical things. That's where a lot of the softball is taking place. But the thing we've done is now we have it connected through bike trails and walking trails. So you can go from northwestern part of Grove City, get on a bike trail and go all the way over the side of Meadows on over by the Scioto River.
Oh boy.
In the same way with, we have a park called Gants Park. You can go from the YMCA up to Gants Park by using our bike trails and walking trails.
Now, any festivals, any celebrations that you all have?
We think we have the largest alumni softball tournament in the world.
In the world?
In the world.
Okay.
And nobody else has ever said we don't.
Uh-huh.
But we'll have 100 softball teams that will be here over the weekend in July.
Okay.
And we shut down our main street, and we have a band come in, and all the alumni get together, and we'll have anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000 people downtown. And then every ball diamond around Grove City is used for the softball tournament.
Wow.
So we're the home of the world's largest softball tournament.
Tell me about the growth of Grove City and what's contributed to it.
The big springboard probably took place in 2003, 2004, when the Pinnacle development over on the other side of 71 was put in place. So with the combination of a shopping center that went in off of Stringtown Road, the new golf course, and then the homes that came in around it, I think it's like 4,000 residents in and around that area. That was a big springboard in our growth.
Okay, so we know about the past and we know where Grove City is at. Now, where's Grove City headed? Where do you see it going?
The major battle is, how do we keep Grove City feeling like a hometown?
Right.
And making sure our citizens are feeling good about it. Making sure our streets are nice and well taken care of. But then we want to accommodate what Mount Carmel Hospital is bringing and what Grove City Methodist Hospital is bringing, because I know they're going to have different employees, doctors, nurses who will want to stay here. So we want to make sure we have the right level of housing available for them. And then as people who are moving up or moving down, as it might be perceived, people selling their houses, going into a condo, that we have the right mix of housing. That's extremely important.
Okay.
And we'll have that in a new development across the street called Beulah Park.
Okay.
That's 211 acres, and all of it is diversification of housing.
So I thank you so much, Mayor, for spending time with me, sharing a meal with me, and sharing all the amazing things about Grove City with me. It means a lot.
And we like to brag about it. We love to have visitors, so it's good to have you here.
Well, great. Well, let's eat. Let's enjoy this food.
Thanks for being with us. And remember, you can catch all of our episodes on columbusneighborhoods.org. Plus, see our stories on the WOSU mobile app. And you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll see you back here next week on Columbus Neighborhoods.
It's another small town song about nothing ever going on a Friday night. Heading to a town
Support for Columbus Neighborhoods is provided by
At American Electric Power, we've been proud sponsors of WOSU Public Media for many years and strong supporters of our headquarters city here in Columbus, both downtown and in neighborhoods like yours.
State Auto Insurance Companies, transforming to become a digital provider of auto, home, and business insurance. And for nearly 100 years, committed to the people and neighborhoods of Central Ohio. State Auto. The Columbus Foundation. Smart philanthropy for a smart city. ColumbusFoundation.org. Bailey Cavalieri. Your relationship with your law firm doesn't need to be complicated, it just needs to be right. CODA. Keeps our community moving forward. Falgren Moortime Marketing and Communications. Think wider. Ohio Health focuses on you and your family with a mission to improve the health of our communities. Women in Philanthropy at Ohio State, changing lives by giving together. And by contributions from these and other Columbus area families who support WOSU. Thank you.